whenever something bad happens in the world, a country invades another country, like Russia goes into Ukraine, the average schmuck on the street will say the same thing. They'll be like, fucking Russians, man, not the people, the government, of course, Putin, that fucking dickhead. Got nothing against the people. They seem perfectly normal. I'd love to share a vodka with them. All those niceties. But yeah, I guess what I'm starting to wonder is like, do certain countries deserve shitty governments because those countries are filled with shitty people? I'm not sure if this is a completely fucking backward opinion or I'm so based I'm in the future, man. But look at all the shit that's kicking off around the world at the moment. Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, riots in Ireland over the weekend. Um, there's probably a ton more second division, third division conflicts that me, who reads the headlines, is unaware of. But yeah, the people always blame the governments, and it makes sense. They're the ones in power, right? But I don't know. I'm kicking the tires a little bit more on that idea now because I'm like, well, how the fuck did they get in power? Like, where does the rubber hit the road in terms of citizens accepting responsibility for having shitty governments, particularly if it's like a repeating cycle? Because you can get every now and again, there's a fucking dickhead born. Like with big families, they have like 10 kids. Like every third kid's a fucking moron. So like that's gonna happen. And you chalk that up to just like statistical inevitability. If you have a bunch of people in power, every so often you're gonna get a fucking moron. But if it's like every single government you get, maybe it's your culture. Maybe you maybe you suck as a citizenry. You all suck on the whole. There's brilliant people everywhere, right? But the mean or the median, whichever's more relevant to the point I'm trying to make, if you are no good, well then your leaders are generally going to be no good. Like I don't know. But you're not allowed to say that because then that's kind of just like saying that every citizen in that country is contributing to the bad culture, which is evidently not true. Not everyone will be doing that, but if the dominant culture is shit, then you're going to get a shit government, right? And what I also think is that, like, take Israel and Palestine. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't know who's the right one here to be supporting, but it seems like for the longest time they've always had a dickhead in charge, and they will always have a dickhead in charge. But you can't say that's because they're dickheads. And then you compare it to the US, right? Look at the last four US presidents. You had you've got Biden now, then you had Trump, Obama before that, and before that, George W. Bush. Out of those four men, the only one that you would allow to plan like a fucking kid's birthday party would be Obama. I'm not even sure if like he was a good president. I don't read enough or know enough to have an opinion on that. But the other three, you if you're like, yeah, there's an 8-year-old's party you got to organize. It's going to be in 2 months' time. Take it away. You wouldn't trust them. You'd be like, yeah, I'm going to be doing half the work here because they're going to drop the ball. But yet, with those three presidents in charge, nothing too crazy happened here, right? It was basically business as usual. The country didn't change that much. Technology and business changed the country more than those presidents did. And yeah, I guess the counter to my counter here would be that as a tourist, everywhere I've gone, I've had this kind of nagging realization that people are people, man. Like everywhere's the same. You see the same type of character archetypes everywhere. And yeah, like we're all the same. We're just dressed up with different languages and different skin tones. And peculiarities of culture, but on the whole, we're the same. When you meet someone and English is their second language, and you think that there may be like, slightly a bit of a squirrel chaser, like a bit of a fucking bit of a dunce, but you're like, oh, hang on a second, they're a native fucking Lithuanian. Give them a chance, brah. They're trying to, piece together English, and so you give them a chance. You're like, oh, it's probably me. It's not them. Then you get to know them a bit better, and 6 months later, you're like, yeah, definitely a fucking squirrel chaser, a bit of a fucking moron. There are certain like things that transcend culture where you're like, yeah, you could have been born in Papua New Guinea, Australia, or Lithuania, you'd have been the same dickhead. It's in your DNA. Um, so there's a part of me that thinks that there's like a sense of uniformity, and there's like a similarity across all different cultures, and that we're all basically the same. And those in power can manipulate um the citizenry to for their own kind of benefit and all that shit. But I guess what I'm maybe starting to wonder is that, like, if you travel a lot, you consider yourself like, I've seen the world, man. I know things, man. I've seen it all. I've met people. And then I'm starting to wonder, like, maybe you didn't, you dickhead. Maybe you were just in this fucking touristy bubble, and you actually got the very surface level cultural takeaways. People in Mexico are friendly. They like to drink beer and tequila, like all that shit. Where it's like, yeah, of course, you could have figured that out from watching fucking Hallmark movies, all this stuff. Instead, you went across, and even the slightly more grungy touristy experiences are kind of like surface level. You don't really know what the true culture is like unless you go over and live somewhere for a long period of time and learn the language and become close with people over there. So I'm starting to wonder, is that like, I don't think we really grasp how different other cultures are, because even if you're well traveled and you fucking consume their media or whatever, you're not really getting a full insight to what's actually going on across there and how different they are to you, which is pretty fucked up. Basically means that we're destined for more collisions of culture. Oh yes, that sounds like a fucking hoity-toity literary mag that I would never fucking read. Thanks for listening, fools. Um, yeah, am I stuck in the past or am I based as fuck? Let me know, bitches. Catch you on the next one. Bye.